Last month, we told you that Arc of the Ozarks is purchasing Empower Abilities building for an expansion. The question now is, where does that leave Empower Abilities? Billy Brightman in Springfield with details on where this nonprofit will be going next. Billy, good morning.
Good morning. It's a win-win situation for everyone involved. Arc of the Ozarks bought the Empower Abilities building to expand, and now Empower Abilities has bought another building so it can also expand. The Center for Independent Living for People with Disabilities will be moving to an old bank building at the corner of South Campbell Avenue and Walnut Lawn. The building offers 20,000 square feet of space, an increase of 4,000 from its current facility. It will use this new space to expand current programs like its assisted tech department and add new programs like a driving simulator. But the most important part is the reach a new building can offer.
That visibility, we're hoping that people will just naturally see us as they're commuting around Springfield, and hopefully will come in and ask more about what we do. And so if they need to find us, they'll know where we're at. We're also excited that this is on a main bus line. So for people who don't have the ability to drive, they should be able to get to that location using public transit.
The move is expected to happen sometime this summer. Live in Springfield, Billy Brightman, KY3 News.